My name is Eden Olivo and I am a tech community engagement intern at HOTOSM, and I am in fact an active contributor to HOTOSM open source project on GitHub. Today I will be your guide on how to become an open source contributor to HOTOSM projects. Hi, I'd like to welcome you to our comprehensive guide on making contributions to HOTOSM projects on GitHub. In this video, we will explore the basics of making meaningful contributions to open source projects for HOTOSM. Before we delve into the specifics, let's understand who and what HOTOSM is about. HOTOSM is an international team dedicated to humanitarian action and community development through open mapping. Open source is at the heart of the HOT community, hence we create and collaboratively build open source geospatial tools to support disaster response, humanitarian aid, and development projects worldwide. Now that you have an understanding of HOTOSM, let's look at GitHub and how you can contribute to HOT projects on GitHub. If you're a complete beginner and never heard of GitHub, GitHub is used for storing, tracking, and collaborating on software projects. And inside GitHub, you have GitHub repository. Imagine you're working on a project, let's say building a website or creating a software. A GitHub repository, often called a repo for short, is like a digital folder or storage space where you can keep all the files related to your project. And because they are open source, they are public, anyone can access them and contribute. Some important features in a GitHub repo are the code. This handles the entire code base of your project and the files you have added to your repo. Issues. Just like the name implies, here you will find issues and bugs to work on to contribute to a project. I recommend starting with a good first issue or beginner-friendly issues. Pull request. Pull request proposes the changes you've pushed to a branch in a repository on GitHub. We'll come back to this in a minute. There is also the README file, which explains the project and how to contribute. And lastly, the code of conduct, which defines the standard for how to engage while contributing to a project. Forking a repository is a GitHub way of saying copy and paste. It is how you can make a copy of someone else's project into your own GitHub account. To do that, click on the Start button. This is completely optional, but it helps you to access your repo later in the future. And then click on Fork. You may enter a description, but this is fine. And then be certain that this button is checked. If it's not, click on it to check the button. And then click on Create a Fork. This will create a copy of this repository on your GitHub profile. Let's proceed by cloning the repo to our local machine. Click on the arrow beside the code button and then copy your repo's address. Press Command Spacebar on your keyboard to bring up the search button and then type terminal to open up the terminal. Press Enter. Please note that I'm using a MacBook and this process might be a little bit different for Windows PC users. Firstly, let's find out the current working directory before we clone our repo. So press PWD on your keyboard for present working directory and press Enter. Now this shows that we're working on user/Eden, but we want to clone our repo on desktop. So let's change our present working directory to desktop. So cd equals to change directory, spacebar, desktop. Now the desktop becomes our present working directory. We can go ahead and clone our repo by typing git clone and then Command V to paste our repo's address, and then press enter to clone your repo. Wait a few minutes for the terminal to clone the repo to our desktop. Congratulations, your repo is 100% cloned to your desktop.
Okay, so before we go any further, I'd like to answer a question that is probably bugging your mind right now. There are so many compelling reasons that can benefit you directly, like skill development, portfolio enhancement, but we believe the humanitarian impact is a good reason for you to contribute. However, I will let our active and long-term contributors tell you more.
Hi, my name is Ifere Wena from Jalingo, Nigeria.
My name is Eden from Abuja, Nigeria.
Hi, my name is Melody and I'm a past outreach applicant.
My name is Anashe Matilda.
Hi, my name is Kumi Obaditon.
Hi, my name is Faze from Australia.
And last year I contributed to HOTOSM. My experience was fun and kind of deep and impactful when I felt like I was contributing to a project that helped save lives.
Contributing to HOTOSM open source project has been super amazing, and also scales of improvement in my career as a software developer.
My experience with HOTOSM is one that I'll remember forever. I remember when I first wanted to contribute, I was obviously very nervous, but I'm happy I followed through with it because the work that we did was one that I know would be able to impact lives for the better.
I made my first contribution during the outreach contribution phase, the HOTOSM community, and it was exciting. I would say the journey was rewarding because I made my first contribution.
My first contribution to HOTOSM made me feel like a superstar. I really much enjoyed the experience. Shout out to Eden.
I was very excited to make a contribution to HOTOSM because I'm very passionate about the tech nonprofit ecosystem, and I believe HOTOSM is a really core technology in that ecosystem and in global development.
So if you're looking forward to contributing to HOTOSM community projects, my advice for you would be for you to look out for the small task. Do not focus on the bigger task, especially if you're a first timer and contributing to open source projects. Look out for the small tasks that you can complete and then ask questions. Do not stay in the dark. Wherever you're stuck, ask questions.
My advice to upcoming and new contributors to open source is that you delve into it, give it your time and dedication, and you will see yourself grow and connect with amazing people in the HOTOSM community.
My advice to anyone who is thinking about contributing is just to go for it, because trust me, there's a community there that will help and guide you each step of the way.
One advice I would give to newbies like myself is to start small. No matter how big or how small, just make a contribution.
And also to the newbie who wants to make their first contribution to HOTOSM, please don't hesitate to. The members are respectful and also always willing to help.
I would say the community is super wholesome, so don't be afraid to reach out to people on Slack for advice or tips. I'm currently doing product design for one of the new AI tools called Fair, and I've had a lot of help from a lot of people in the community willing to give their time, including Eden, of course.
I wish you a beautiful time contributing to HOTOSM community projects.
I hope you got inspired by the stories from our contributors. Now I'm going to guide you on how to contribute to our open source project as well.
Let's begin our contribution by selecting an issue from the repository. Click on Issues. Let's look for an issue that has Good First Issue or Beginner Friendly Issue. I will click on this one that says Description on the first web page. It also has a Good First Issue. So take your time and read through the issues and understand what the problem is and the requirements for making contributions. This states that the issue is document-based and there is also a suggested replacement. Feel free to leave a comment to let the project maintainer know that you're working on this issue. So scroll down and then type your comments in here. And then click on comment. So let's go ahead and open the clone repo on our local machine using an IDE. For example, Visual Studio Code. And then click on Open. Then access the folder of the clone repository on desktop. And then click on File and click on Open. This will open up our repository on Visual Studio Code. So we can go ahead and access the document folder on our repository and then look for the home document. I will go ahead and copy the suggested replacement from the issue. Now I can add it as an overview. And I'll use the spacebar to indent the text correctly. Once I'm done making my contribution, I can click on Ctrl S to save my changes. Now I have a pending change to push to my repository. Now I can click on this
and then type a meaningful commit description for your pull request. For example, once you're done, click on commit and then click on yes. Click on sync changes. This will create a pull request to the repository that you're working on and click OK. Now we have one more step to complete our pull request. Let's head over to GitHub to see how that looks. Now we have a notification showing that there is a pending pull request to make to the branch. So click on this and then read through your contribution to be sure you're making the right changes to your repository. Once you're done reviewing, scroll up and click on Create Pull Request. Give it a title that best describes the contribution that you made to the project. And then under descriptions, be sure to use GitHub keywords in order to link your branch or pull request to the issue. You can click on Preview to see how it looks. Once you're satisfied with your changes, go ahead and click on Create Pull Request. This will push a branch to the parent repository to propose a change. Congratulations on making your contribution to HOTOSM project. Now the project maintainer will review your code and merge your pull request. Thank you for watching, and if you have any question, please leave them in the comments down below and I will answer as many as I can. Join us in harnessing the power of open source for humanitarian causes. Happy contributing, and I'll see you next time.